Hello everybody, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Anastassja.Mariah, and I'm here for a neutral eyes for beginners eye look tutorial. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to show you guys a couple of the neutral palettes that I have, which I have a lot more. I have the chocolate palette by JUVIAS Place. I'm going to be showing you the Wet n Wild color icon palette, which is the Go Commando. We have the Warrior 2 by JUVIAS Place, which I really love and appreciate this palette because it is all matte. The colors are so rich and so pigment, and you get such a big amount of each one. Last but not least, we have the NYX Ultimate Utopia Palette, which I have warm neutrals, colored neutrals. I just really like that palette. I'm also going to be showing you guys some of the bases that I use to prime my eyes before doing eyeshadow. So I have the LOUISE eyeshadow bases in Rumors 3, 5, 6, and 7. And then I also sometimes use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer in the color C8. And I also just picked up some Amazon brushes that are super affordable. They were about $16.99 and you get 24 pieces. So definitely hop into those, okay? As you can see, I chose the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer because most beginners will typically have concealers to use and not really invest in eyeshadow bases. To me, it's not necessary if you get a really good matte drying concealer. So first and foremost, definitely get you a concealer that is matte, dries down matte, because it just gives you a smoother finish. You can guarantee that the pigments are going to show up. You don't have to get a skin tone shade. You can get a shade that is, bright, but just make sure you blend it super well. Now, even though this concealer does dry down matte, I do set it with the Airspun translucent powder just to guarantee that my surface is going to be smooth when adding these eyeshadows. So as you can see, we're going to be using the NYX Utopia palette, and I'm just taking my first shade and we're going to be applying that to where our natural crease is, okay? So the natural crease, you'll see a little clip of me kind of pushing the brush into where my natural crease is, but this is just a patting motion that I'm using with the first shade called our transition color. It's a nice warm tan, I would say warm brown, especially if you're like a woman of color. Typically warm tans, warm browns. See right here, that's where I'm pushing it in, because for me, when I do that, it gives me enough ground space to know how far up I can bring that very first transition shade. So I don't bring it all the way up the entire way through, but depending on the shape you're going for, you can. I have a lot of land on my eyelids, so yeah. I'm going to be using a couple of different palettes today so you guys can see that a lot of these eyeshadow palettes are affordable. They also have a lot of good combinations. You don't have to use one palette. It is helpful to use one palette when you're a beginner, especially if you only have one. But I'm going into that warm brown shade in the JUVIAS Place palette, and that's going to be my second shade, and I'm just adding that kind of deeper in the crease. You can technically do a neutral eyeshadow look with 3 shades. You'll actually see that we are going to be using 4 in today's video. But if you wanted to stop here in reference to like the transitional crease colors, you could. Like, it's going to be blended out. Just make sure you blend. It's very important that you blend out as much as you can so that it can be gradient. This is where I'm going in with the third color. Again, totally not necessary, but it does add some definition to the eyeshadow look. I mean, who wouldn't want that? And to me, it's only an extra minute of time, especially being that this will be something you do every day, like in the workplace, just to make yourself feel good, look like something. You're not quite sure what color you're going to wear today. I'm telling you, this is the eyeshadow look that I do anytime I'm not sure what I'm doing or where I'm going, what I'm going to wear, anything like that, how my hair is going to be. Like, I have no idea. This is what I go for. So I'm just going back in and slowly building up that dark, cool brown. I would definitely say your transition should be warm. Your first crease color should be warm, especially if you stop there, keep it warm. But if you start getting deeper, you can do the cooler colors, but you'll definitely want to make sure that you blend them out as much as you can. Moving on to the lid colors. So in this NYX Utopia palette, it's a great example of how many different kind of pale neutral shades they have. You can stay in kind of the creamy vanilla whites family. You can go into the tans, the terracottas, the warm browns, and I really like that palette and appreciate it. I'm going into this kind of fluffy shader brush. I'm gonna go ahead and pack that on the eye. We're not doing any type of cut crease. This is beginner friendly, you guys. And because these eyeshadows are super pigmented in that NYX Utopia palette, I'm telling you, like, you just kind of blend it in the shape that you like. You don't have to have the half moon. You don't have to have that half circle or, you know, like a cat eye look. You don't have to. It's just as nice like this. It can kind of be diagonal. As you can see, I kind of took mine a little further over than, you know, maybe what you've seen before. Maybe on a cut crease or something. But make your eye look how you'd like. I went back in with the brush that I used on the crease, and I didn't add any extra product. I just kind of emphasized that shade a little more towards the inner eye. Right here, this is optional. I like to take a liquid liner and add a line, but on top of that, and add a wing. But on top of that, the fact that it's a brown, that really takes it to another level, sis. Like, you can do black, you could do brown, but recently I just been on this brown with the neutral eye. Like, ooh, it makes me feel like I'm innocent, but I definitely I'm given, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just everything. But you guys, pretty much that is it for the neutral everyday eyeshadow beginner friendly eye look that you could create yourself with 2 shades and a lid shade, or 3 shades if you want to be extra and a lid shade. I'm telling you, like, it's great. I hope you guys got something out of this. I will keep the items listed below. Make sure you like, comment, share, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And I love you guys so very much. See you in the next video.